I would argue the athlete's approach is better than the bodybuilder's approach because they still have energy. Whereas the bodybuilders that are doing this high volume, they can't even get off the couch. Hi, my name is Jaquish. I am a doctor of biomedical engineering. Today, we're going to discuss bodybuilding and what's wrong with it. Now, being a biomedical engineer means I'm not a sports scientist, so I have very few biases, and I come in and look at the whole body of literature in sports performance and in bodybuilding, and I have drawn some different conclusions than others have. Not necessarily drastically different, more nuanced, but I think there's some better answers out there than you're being given by the usual suspects. Some of the sports science guys, I think they're reading their own press releases or reading their own research and not really looking at other things in the same way, and they might be a little lost. Now, the people that I typically mention are on the right track and very objective about what they're analyzing. Everybody who I don't mention, I either don't know about them or I don't mention them because what they're saying is either lousy advice or just straight up wrong. So the first issue here is when you look at all of the sports performance literature, my hesitation when looking at hypertrophy research is when we look at it, the measurements of how we're coming to these conclusions do not discern between two types of muscle growth. So sarcoplasmic versus myofibril. Sarcoplasmic can come on quick, especially with beginner lifters. What ends up happening is somebody will do a study, and even with a trained athlete, they'll give them a higher volume than they've been normally doing. So they basically have a bigger pump and they collect more metabolites within the musculature and ultimately more ATP, glycogen, and creatine phosphate. It creates the illusion that there's growth that happens faster because of this more volume. That's not the illusion part. That's real. The idea is that this happens in perpetuity, and it profoundly does not. How do athletes train? This is the better way to look at it. Like the smartest people in sports performance, they're not on YouTube. They're working with the NFL or mixed martial arts. And I have been so lucky to, now I'm working with Westside Barbell, and those are the two sports that we interact most with and we help out the most. I say I'm kind of along for the ride because I'm providing the equipment that Westside Barbell coaches are applying with these other athletes, and most importantly, educating the strength and conditioning professionals that deal with the NFL teams and the mixed martial art athletes. And they have all kinds of other athletes too, but those are industry-wide. Westside Barbell is known for really developing the best. Athletes, for the most part, don't split the body up. Like, you don't ever see like an MMA fighter that's like, yeah, I'm doing back and shoulders today. Like, what? No, it's full body workouts. Now, you might do a full body workout 4 days a week with resistance and then go do your MMA training or do drills for football, because when you're an athlete, you've got to save some energy to be on the field or to be in the ring or in the pit if you're a grappler. You need all of these things to be stimulating and driving you in the right direction while at the same time not devastating you so you can still perform. Now, I would argue the athlete's approach is better than the bodybuilder's approach because they still have energy. Whereas the bodybuilders that are doing this high volume, they can't even get off the couch. So they're just devastated, exhausted all the time. If they're training with any sort of relevant intensity, and if they're not training with any sort of relevant intensity, then they're just wasting their time. Or Maybe they're trying to let the drugs do the work, which is how this set of recommendations showed up in the first place, because the links to these high volumes is completely associated with drug cycles, but a lot of researchers just threw the drug part away and they're trying to build these volume pyramids in, or just high volume recommendations in with drug-free people, and it's not working, and it's never worked. So it's easier to see, especially when you look at the division between strength and size. The typical, there was just a meta-analysis fairly recently that was talking about the optimal volumes for, like, they're looking at minimum dose response, or just what's the response over groups of individuals that do more versus less sets and train with higher intensity. So for strength, it's 2 sets per workout gives you sort of the maximum return for your investment. Whereas for muscle growth, for hypertrophy, they say 12 sets per workout. Well, over time, and this is very well established in the research, and you can even see on Stronger by Science, one of the most exhaustive narrative analyses of strength versus size is done there. And the ultimate conclusion is, the more developed you become, strength and size become the same exact subject. The stronger you are, the bigger you are. And for example, you'll never see a weak bodybuilder. Even a natural bodybuilder, if they have a significant amount of muscle, they are strong. So this idea that the pump is going to carry you, now, I'm not saying anything negative about the pump, but just chasing it specifically, nah, that's not what the data says. You want to be as strong as possible. Chasing strength is always been my position, and I believe it is the shortest path to the greatest result, the most maximized result. And that's how all the sports do it. And if you look at how much money, for example, is in the NFL, who do you think is getting the better coaching? Is it the NFL, which you total all the teams and budgets, it's, billions of dollars, or is it bodybuilding, which is, instead of billions of dollars, just dollars, or thousands of dollars maybe? It's not a big industry. And also, the NFL and mixed martial arts athletes are drug tested. Now, do they ever do performance enhancing drugs and get away with it? Maybe. Usually a handful of people a year get caught. So that shows you they test, and that shows you the majority of them are clean. So the ones that aren't clean, they get caught. The way the testing works now is anything that's an anomaly in your blood work equals ban. So nobody's getting away with anything anymore. It's very important to point this out, because these are all the reasons that bodybuilding type training has gone in the direction it has gone, and I believe it's just largely a distraction from real progress. And then maybe the most blistering thing of all is, about a year ago, there was a study that showed that 50 plus sets per week per body part was the recommendation. That was the summary. That's not what the study found. What the study found was they had athletes training for 2 weeks, only 2 weeks, doing 50, I think it was 52 sets per week. And they were, of all the groups that were tested, they were the ones that grew the most muscle. But if you're doing 50 sets per body part per week, you're doing 400 sets per week, there's no way you're training with any sort of intensity. That is just such a ridiculous recommendation. You just won't even make it through that if you're training with any sort of intensity at all. So I just caution everyone, follow those who talk about high intensity, who talk about maximizing your strength. Going in that direction is going to give you the greatest result in the shortest period of time. I hope this helps. If you want to tell me I'm wrong, please do so in the comments. If you want to tell me I'm right, also do that. Hope this video helped, and if you have any really good questions, it'll probably spark another video. Thanks. If this video helped you, I want you to subscribe and follow
I'm gonna put out videos on a regular basis. I think they're gonna help a whole lot of people, especially if you're one of those people that doesn't just instantly grow from lifting regular weights. We've got the answer for you.